Salt air in Port Haven does not just cling to your skin, it gets into your blood. Thick and heavy, like the secrets we keep to survive. In 1975, I was 21, a lighthouse keeper's daughter named Clara, with nothing to my name but a sketchbook and a heart far too loud for this quiet grey town. I was supposed to marry Elias, the son of the local cannery mogul, a man whose smile was as cold as the North Atlantic. My father saw it as a business merger, a way to keep the lighthouse burning and the debts at bay. But I saw it for what it was, a cage built of gold and iron. The night I told my father I was leaving for the city to pursue art, he did not scream, he simply looked at the door and told me that if I walked out, I was no longer a daughter, but a ghost. I walked anyway, with only a charcoal pencil and $30 woven into my hand. I spent a decade in the city painting murals in alleyways and sleeping in studios that smelled of turpentine and hunger. I built a life out of nothing, becoming a renowned restorer of lost masterpieces while the memory of Port Haven faded into a dull ache I only felt when the wine turned cold. 10 years later, a letter arrived, not from my father, but from an attorney. The lighthouse had been decommissioned, and my father was gone, leaving behind a crumbling tower and a mountain of legal disputes. I returned to the salt and the grey, expecting to find ruins. Instead, I found a boy, a 10-year-old named Leo, living in the keeper's quarters with a woman I'd never meet. She was my father's nurse in his final years, and Leo, with his piercing green eyes and the habit of sketching the tides, was the son I never knew my father had taken in after a local tragedy. The twist was not the inheritance, it was the walls. As I began restoring the interior of the lighthouse to prepare it for sale, I stripped back layers of lead paint to find something breathtaking. My father, the man who had forbidden my art, had spent his final years painting a panoramic mural of my life across the interior of the Lantern Room. Every city I lived in, every achievement he'd read about in the papers was rendered in exquisite, heartbreaking detail. He had not just been watching, he'd been celebrating me in the only way he knew how, in secret, on the very walls he'd once used to cage me. The town council tried to seize the land for a luxury resort led by none other than a bitter old Elias, but they underestimated the ghost they had created. Sale. I turned the gilded anchor into a sanctuary for foster children with a penchant for the arts, with Leo as my first official student. My father's rejection was the fire that forged me, but his final hidden apology became the light that guided me home. We are not defined by the doors that slam in our faces, but by the windows we choose to paint on the walls they leave us behind.